YouTube, what is going on? It is your boy once again, back at it again with another video. Hey, your boys rocking Bullet Coolin' and Schooling on a bit, man. Hey, man, say, man, Gail, man. We're back at it again, as y'all can see right now with NASCAR Heat 5. Y'all know with my gaming page right here, all the content on here is all racing related. Everything from NASCAR to Formula 1 to GT Sport to Assetto Corsa. Maybe here and there, maybe one day I might buy dirt. I might buy one of the Motor GP games. But for right now though, we got those games and those bases covered. You feel me? We're back at it again with another video. I got the wheel right here, Thrustmaster T300 and stuff like that. And I wanted to make this video real quick to basically talk about the new upcoming NASCAR game. I believe that is going to be called NASCAR 2021. I believe that's the theme that they're going with. They're going with the year of year, not the whole NASCAR Heat 5 or NASCAR Heat 6 and stuff like that. I believe it's called NASCAR Heat 2021 or NASCAR 2021, something like that. And I wanted to make this video to really talk about and voice my concern and my opinion about NASCAR games. If y'all don't know, I've been watching NASCAR since '98, and I've been playing NASCAR games since NASCAR '99. Y'all remember that NASCAR '99? It had Earnhardt Sr. on there. I think it had Earnhardt Sr. I want to say Taylor Labonte and Bobby Labonte. I want to say that's how the cover looked, but I know Earnhardt Sr. was the main one on the cover though. I've been playing NASCAR games since then. I done played all the Heat games. I done played all the Thunder games. And I played 30 Daytona. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I played the PC versions of NASCAR games. I have still never played iRacing. I watch it on YouTube and stuff like that, but I still never played it per se. All my NASCAR experiences when it came to video games has been on consoles, and that's the part I want to talk about is where we have been to when it comes to NASCAR games. And where we're at right now with NASCAR games versus other types of video games out there that's doing motorsports, meaning F1, meaning Gran Turismo. Now, I know that the people and usually the ones that develop NASCAR games are not on the top tier level as a proprietors. The ones that make GT Sport. Or on a top tier level like F1 and stuff like that. But at the same token though, us NASCAR fans has been getting let down in bullcrap games. Honestly, since NASCAR 5. NASCAR 5 on the PlayStation 2. NASCAR, I think it was NASCAR 05 on the PlayStation 2 by EA Sports. Now, y'all know, when it comes to EA Sports, that's a whole other video of me expressing my opinion how I feel about EA. But for them to come out with those Thunder Series games on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, those was classics right there. The mechanics was good. The driving capabilities was good. The seasons was good. The career was good. Everything was great about those games. And ever since the next-gen consoles like PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and so on and so forth, NASCAR has been totally trash and crap. Let's jump out here and do some practice laps. Let's jump out here and do some practice laps real quick as I'm talking to y'all. But NASCAR games has been totally crap since they have been introduced to the next gen consoles of the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Now we are now, since that era right there, we are now on PlayStation 5 and Xbox One. We're on a whole another console generation once again. And with that being said, I feel like with this next NASCAR game, if not this year but next year, a lot of things and consideration should be taken in place to make a great NASCAR game. Because it doesn't make no sense that GT Sport can be a great game. Now it has its flaws and whatever case may be, but overall, the overall package, it's a great game. Same thing with F1. I know people they complain about this and complain about that or whatever, but overall, it's a great game though. The overall package that you get is incredible. NASCAR games don't have that. Now, that's what I want to talk about in this video. Now, the first thing that I have a big problem, a big concern about when it comes to NASCAR related games is the online. Now, when it comes to the online, y'all already know public lobbies online is pretty much a wreck fest. That's all it is. It's a wreck fest. Everybody race at Daytona and Talladega, but yet we're going 200 miles per hour playing bumper cars. There needs to be a better type of online system, a better type of control, a better type of, I guess you could say, chaperone, where if somebody hits somebody, it should be some type of penalty, in a sense like how GT Sport does it. Now, I know that people are going to be like, well, GT Sports, their penalty system is not perfect, right? You're right, it's not perfect, but it's there though. And that's still in the back of people's heads. So they're not going to always mess your race up. I feel like this. What NASCAR should do is that, I know NASCAR, is beating the banger, rubbing his race. I understand that. But they should have some type of algorithm when it comes to the online racing where if I hit somebody and they hit the wall or their speed is dramatically reduced, I mean dramatically reduced, like almost like, I don't know, 80 miles per hour reduced. Because obviously something that happened for that person to drop down 80 miles per hour. And, of course they hit the wall and stuff like that. I should get a penalty for that. They should have the same type of concept like how GT Sport does. I should get a penalty for that somewhere on the track. Reduce my speed, reduce my speed, or force me to go down pit road. One of the two. But it needs to be some type of penalty system in the online lobbies, man. The public lobbies, man. Because the public lobbies on NASCAR Heat games is just toxic. And they've been toxic since NASCAR Heat. They've been toxic since the other, NASCAR Inside Line and stuff like that. They always been toxic. There needs to be some type of penalty system in the online lobbies. Now, also, with me saying that, up to the hosts, turn on or off, give them the opportunity to do that. But I feel like it should be some type of penalty system in the online lobbies. Because it's so crazy that we do all these online races, and the majority of the tracks is being ran when it comes to NASCAR games is Daytona and Talladega. But yet, when you put all the strict cautions, all the flags on and stuff like that, there's no penalty for people going below the yellow line. There's no penalty for that. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Why have all the cautions and all the strict penalties and stuff like that, or strict flags on and stuff like black flags and stuff like that, but there's no penalty for going below the yellow line? Now, we all know, NASCAR fans, Daytona and Talladega, if you go below the yellow line and advance your position, that's the penalty right there. We should have that in the game. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to implement that into the game. Like, come on, man. Like, we're talking about, this is 2021 that we're talking about, man. Going into 2022, man. It shouldn't be that hard. The next thing I want to talk about is the overall dynamic of the environment of NASCAR games. Now, if y'all can remember, the EA games had it down pat. They had a dynamic weather where you'll start your race, it'll be bright and sunny, and when you finish your race, it'll be evening time or almost nighttime. It was somewhat of a slight dynamic weather change. And I like that. That was a nice touch. Now, the game was crap, but it was a slight touch and good. And ever since NASCAR 08, NASCAR 09, all NASCAR games has went away from that. And now every track that you go to, it's a fixed weather where the sky is always the same. Clouds don't move. Shadows don't change. Nothing changed. Like, there's no dynamic, force when it comes to the NASCAR game and the overall environment of the track. Just like F1 games where, in 5 minutes it's going to rain and stuff like that. I understand that NASCAR do not race in rain, but that would be a cool added feature where if I'm doing career mode, right, and I'm doing 50% races or 100% races, you feel me? And let's say, I'm on lap 100 of 276 laps, 400 miles. I'm at Kansas somewhere. They just left Kansas, so I'm going to say Kansas. You know what I'm saying? And my crew chief, he comes on the mic and say, hey, rain is expected in the next, 30 minutes. So you got to hear up and start making up your positions because rain is expected. And that right there will add a whole nother, because now you got to change your whole strategy. You got to change your whole driving style. You got to do everything differently now, because now you're telling yourself that, hey, I'm on lap 100. I still got, another 167 laps to go. But now rain is being expected in the next 30 minutes. So that means it's probably only another 80 laps left in this race. I got to start getting the move on. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to add that type of dynamic, onto the environment of these NASCAR tracks. I want rain. I want, weather effects. I want, the dynamic of clouds running across the sun. And, casting a shadow on the track. I want, the shadows and the shade and all the shadows and stuff like that to be in different spots. I want the weather to be changing. I want the time to be changing. I want it to be where it's a 3 o'clock race. And at the end of the race, it's like 6 or 7. The sun went from, peak noon all the way to almost about the sunset. Like, I want that. That right there will add so much more of a dynamic and more inverse into the race. Like, it's not that hard to do, because F1 games can do it. Why can't the NASCAR games do it? Hell, even the games back in the day, besides the rain, the games back in the day of NASCAR 08, NASCAR 09 on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, they was doing dynamic weather. Where the sun would move across the sky and stuff like that. We need that type of immersive back into these games right here. Like, come on now, let's not play around and act like rain is not a determinant factor in a NASCAR race. So why is it not implemented into the game? Because that is a determinant factor into these races. How many races did y'all, especially Daytona, for the last couple years, finishing under caution because of rain, or got to race another day because of rain and stuff like that? Like, that would be so cool to have a NASCAR game where we race to like lap 29 and it starts raining. And now, oh, the rain is continuing overnight. We have to race tomorrow. Just like in real life. And we race tomorrow, and now it's sunny and stuff. It went from cloudy on Sunday when we first raced, because the rain was about to come in. We only got 29 laps in, till we had to race tomorrow. It's bright sunny, just like how it is right here. And now we can finally get the full race in. Or we're racing, rain is expected within the next couple of hours or so. We're trying to get the full race in. We pass halfway, because if you know about NASCAR, once you pass halfway, it's considered a race. And they can't get the race started, it's considered a race. We pass halfway, and the race is official. Like, we need that type of dynamic right there. Now, I'm not too worried about having that type of crazy stuff going on online. But when it comes to, like, career mode and stuff like that, that's something that we really need right there as NASCAR fans and NASCAR enthusiasts with the NASCAR games. Because, like I said, if F1 can do it on their games, we can do it on our games, bro. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about too as well is the overall physics of these cars. The overall physics of the game itself. Now, I'm sorry. Even though NASCAR Heat 5, it tries to come off as, a simulator type of game. Every time that saying the game is loading up, it's showing all this fan tech stuff and stuff like that. Look. I'm going to be 100 with you, right? This game, with the mechanics that it has, is not for people that like to drive with steering wheels. It's not. You're at a disadvantage. With the beating and banging and just the overall arcadiness. Because I'm sorry, man. NASCAR games, even though Heat 5 and Heat 4 are the same type of game, but you can make your own setup and do this and do that, whatever the case may be. Still, to me, these games feel arcadey. So why every time that I'm in a loading screen, I'm being advertised all this fan tech stuff? You're trying to sell me a product that costs $600 all the way up to $3,000, depending on what version I buy. The low end is $600, the top end is $3,000. You're trying to sell me this steering wheel right here, but yet this is an arcade game right here. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, NASCAR Heat, man, with the physics, the overall just lobby system, no penalties for people wrecking each other and turning around and going backwards and stuff like that. It's arcadey, bro. It's arcadey, bro. If F1 games can eliminate that type of factor, if Gran Turismo Sport can, eliminate that, that factor right there, why can't NASCAR games do it too as well? It don't make no sense that I'm in a lobby and I just spent $600 on the steering wheel. I got the whole setup going on and stuff like that. And maybe I don't want to buy iRacing. Maybe I don't want to deal with iRacing. Maybe I don't want to, buy iRacing and spend this X amount of money on this car and spend this X amount of money on this track and spend this X amount of money on, the whole computer setup and stuff like that. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I just want to buy a PlayStation or Xbox, buy a steering wheel, and jump on a NASCAR game and have fun. You feel me? But not only have fun, but have a real, true driving experience. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that everybody doesn't have a steering wheel. A lot of people play on controller. But if F1 games are able to, conjure, look that word up. But listen to this though. Conjure the steering wheel users and also the controller users, where it's an equal playing field with the overall physics, the overall penalty system, and the overall dynamics of the playing racing game, NASCAR games can do it too as well. Same thing with GT Sport. Not everybody has a steering wheel on GT Sport. But since the dynamics and the driving factor, the driving dynamics is so great on that game right there, where you can be competitive with a steering wheel, and you can also be competitive with a controller. But you're not, look. It's so many times that I come on NASCAR games, and when we just, took the green flag, we just restarted and stuff like that. Every time that I see drivers going into the corner for the first time as we're getting up to speed, you can tell that they're on the controller. Because you know what they're doing? I'm going to show you what they're doing as we're getting up to speed. Now, once we get up to speed, they're not doing it as much. But this is what they're doing as we're getting up to speed. They're doing this right here. You see how the car is moving like that? That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing right there. They're doing that right there. That's letting me know that they're on a controller. Now, granted, yes, I use a controller with my NASCAR games because it's the overall setup of how the game is set up and stuff like that. I have to use a controller. I'm sorry. I have did a couple races here and there using wheel and stuff like that. But with people wrecking and stuff like that, I'm not too much worried about racing. I'm more worried about dodging people. That's what I'm more worried about. But with me saying that though, you got to make this game more custom, because obviously that's the route that you want to go, because you show me all this Fantech stuff. Make the game more custom for the users that are using the steering wheel. And yes, don't leave out the controller players, because yes, the vast majority of people do have controllers, but you don't show no love to the people that have steering wheels. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. The reason why I use a controller when it comes to online races the majority of the time, because I have more control of the car for dodging people that's going backwards, dodging people that's slowing down and trying to wreck me, or when people slam me, when they try to slam me into the wall. I have more control with the controller versus the wheel, because of the bull crap that goes on these public lobbies right here. Like, NASCAR games really have to step it up. We deserve so much more. Like, at the end of the day, man, I understand how big GT Sport is around the world. I understand how big F1 is around the world. But yet, NASCAR is the #1 racing series in America. So why do we keep on getting these bullcrap games year after year after year after year? Like, honestly, I didn't play all the NASCAR games that has came out on console. Like I said, I have not played no games that came out on PC. I haven't did iRacing, nothing like that. I haven't played none of those games. But when it comes to console, since NASCAR 99, I have played all of them. The only great NASCAR games that we had that came out on console was the Heat series of games, Dirt to Daytona, and the original NASCAR Heat that came out on Xbox. Those is the only great NASCAR games that has came out on console. NASCAR '08 that came out on the next gen consoles like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 was terrible. The AI didn't know you was there. The AI didn't even know where you was at on the track. You know what I'm saying? Like, the overall mechanics and the physics of the car, everything was just terrible. Same thing with NASCAR '09. Yes, people played it online and stuff like that, but that's all we had, though. That's all we had. So what you expect? And I had fun playing it online. Yes, I did. But the game overall was terrible, though. Same thing with Heat Evolution and, you know, NASCAR Inside Line and all this. The games are terrible, bro. Arcadey, bro. Like, straight arcadey. Why is it all this point stuff and all these numbers and stuff on the screen? It's looking so arcadey, bro. Like, when I play NASCAR Heat Evolution, bro, or NASCAR, whatever that game was that came out in 2011. Bro, I thought I was playing like some type of drift game or something like that. Like, it was so much stuff going on the screen where it looked so arcadey, bro. I couldn't take that game serious. And we're still in that same faction right now to this day in 2021 with Heat 5. Hopefully with the next NASCAR game, they'll actually take some steps to make a great overall package. Because if they do like how they did Heat 4 and Heat 5, because Heat 5 is pretty much Heat 4. That's all it is. They just changed the name. But this is Heat 4 right here. The graphics is the same. The mechanics is the same. Everything's the same. Everything's the same. It just changed the name and stuff like that and put it out there to the people. And the people bought it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the people that's developing NASCAR games, they really need to start from the basics. Start from scratch. And really make a great product. If you got to get some people that makes Formula 1 games or get GT Sport, get them people, bro, to help you make a great game, bro, and make a great product, bro. Because I'm going to tell you this much right here. I'm not too much of going to trip over the overall graphics of the game. But if the playing style, the dynamics of the race, the dynamics of the car is good, I'm cool with that. I mean, look at iRacing. iRacing don't have the best graphics, but their race package, their overall package that they give you when it comes to a simulation of driving a stock car around Daytona, driving a stock car around Talladega, driving a stock car around Chicagoland, is superb. That's what we need for console users too as well. Because at the end of the day, everybody's not gonna spend $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10,000 on not on a console, but on a computer just to play iRacing. Then once you know what I'm saying, get a computer that's capable of running iRacing, then you got to spend money for the vehicles. Then you got to spend money for the subscription per month. Then you got to spend money for the tracks. Then you got to spend, like, iRacing gets expensive after a while. Some people just want to buy it on their consoles. Like me, I'm a console user. Like, yes, I have a computer that's capable of running iRacing. But I'm a console user. Like, I want to play on console. I have a PlayStation 5 right here. I want to play on console because that's the reason why I bought the game. That's the reason why I bought the system. I want to play on console. I don't want to play on my computer. I want to play on console. Yes, I have the means of doing it, but that's not what I want to do though. Why am I spending $60 on a video game that's subpar? It don't make no sense. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, rant on a little bit. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer because this video right here is going on 25 minutes, man. But let me know how y'all feel, man. Let me know how y'all feel, man. Like, what y'all feel about how the next NASCAR game should be. Even if this next NASCAR game is not to the point where I just said, at least the next year, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need some great developers to go ahead and pick up the license for NASCAR, bro. Because the people that's been having a license for NASCAR for the last couple of years and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, it don't make no sense, man. But hopefully y'all like this video. Hopefully y'all been seeing the laps that I've been laying down. My best lap right now was a 48.383. Let me know if that's fast or not. I believe that's fast because, you know what I'm saying, I got over 100 victories online. Yeah, I said that. But other than that, though, man, peace, love, and blessings, man. I'll highlight y'all in the next video, man. And it's your boy, man. Peace gone, man. I'm out of here, man. Let's get it.